I was in the Grand Canyons, a group of tropical islands in the Gulf of Mexico, on a cruise for winter break with my grandparents, aunt, uncle, cousins, and family. My family and I had been certified to scuba dive over the summer for this trip. We walked off the ship, found a dive shop, and rented equipment for 2 dives. We then drove to a dock where several boats were tied up. We boarded one, set up all of our equipment, and headed out to open sea. It is an amazing feeling looking up into the clear blue sky and then looking down hundreds of feet into the crystal clear water as the salty breeze blows through your hair. In the boat, my group and I were sitting in our wetsuits, putting together our weight belts and adjusting our fin straps. The boat stopped. We had reached our dive site. Our dive instructor told me to sit on the side of the boat, and I put all my equipment on. I was slightly nervous because that was my first real dive. Before that, I had only dived in a murky lake and in swimming pools. I slid off the side of the boat into the warm, salty water. I felt the little waves from the weight of my equipment and took my first underwater breath in the ocean. I swam to the surface, grabbed onto a rope, and put some air in my buoyancy control device so I would float, and adjusted my equipment as everyone else into the water. I looked down through the water. The bottom seemed so far away. The dive instructor had said it was about 110 feet deep where we were. When we were all in and the instructor gave the signal to go down, the thumbs down, we all started to let out air from our BCDs. Down, down, down we went. I could see the boat disappearing above us. I held my depth gauge and watched the needle go to 10 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet, 40 feet, 50, 60, 70. The boat was way above us now, and the sandy sea floor and the coral reef were approaching quickly. I could feel the pressure from all the water going on me fast, and I was continually pressurizing my ears and mask. We hit bottom. I added a tap of air into my PC and floated weightlessly 4 to 5 feet above the bottom. There were fish everywhere of all different shapes, sizes, and colors. There were huge, colorful coral structures covering a lot of the ocean floor. As I looked closer, they were teeming with sea life, from fish to sea urchins to huge lobsters. Right where we went down, there was a barracuda, which was really cool. It swam around us a couple times, and then it swam off. We followed our guide instructor along the sandy floor, over, around, and through the coral, while looking at tons of sea life. There was an odd fish and a coral cave that we went through that was cool. At some areas in the cave, there were holes in the roof, and you could see the surface of the ocean. It was so far away. At the other end of the cave, there was a drop-off, and if you weren't watching your gauges, you could end up a lot deeper than you planned. One of the people in our group seemed like they were running low on air, so we started heading back to the boat. Once we were under the boat, we started kicking up to the surface. It is an odd feeling, all that compressed air escaping from your mask and head and bubbles as you ascend. Everyone emerged, spit out through regulators, and talked about everything they had seen. We boarded the boat, and with one dive under our belts, jetted off to our second dive of the day.